Welcome to the GIS session of the Fermi Surveyor Diaries. Today, we will look at the user interface of the ArcGIS Pro software. Once you launch the ArcGIS Pro, this is the first screen that you will see. From here, you can either start a new project or open an existing one. The software makes it available different templates to choose from in order to begin the project. Now, to begin with, we'll click on the map template. Now, on the pop-up that shows, let's name the project Introduction to ArcGIS Pro and choose a convenient folder location. ArcGIS Pro automatically creates a folder structure for your project, including a default geodatabase and a toolbox. So in your directory, you could see by default, ArcGIS stores your work in the ArcGIS project folder on your computer. You can also change the directory by clicking on the browse, the yellow icon beside it, and choose a different location for it. We can also start your whole project or a whole project without a template, but that doesn't give us the option to be able to use a base map on our work. So the map option is always the best way to start with your work. Now that our project is created, let's take a quick tour on the interface of the software. At the very top, we have the main menu bar, which includes project, insect, map, view, and other tabs. These are grouped into what we call the ribbon, and it changes depending on what you are working on. Right now, the tab which is active is the map tab, and under it, you will see tools like add data, bookmarks, base maps, and navigation tools like pan and zoom. These are the basic tools you use to interact with your map. Now, when we look at the add data, it gives us the option to be able to choose the data that we want to work with from our computer. So we go to the add data and then browse to the location of where our data is being stored. We select it, click OK, and then bring our data into our working environment. Now you can use the zoom in and out to clearly visualize our data, and then use the pan to move around our working area to be able to best interact with the software. Next, let's go to the view tab. The view tab gives you control over the layout of your workspace. For example, the content pane and then the catalog pane, you can open and then close them and then reopen it again back into the interface. Looking at the center of your screen, you have a big space where we have a map showing. This tab is what you call the map view. It is where all your spatial data will be displayed. If you add any data to your map, like shape files, any base maps, or any other feature layers, they will all appear right here, and then you'll be able to interact with them. By default, we chose the map template when we were setting up our project, and then we have a base map being opened, and we can see it clearly at where the map view section. Now on the left side, you will notice the content pane. The content pane works like the legend. It shows all the layers currently in your map. From here, you can either turn on layers, turn off layers. You can reorder how your layers are looking, and then you can even access their attribute tables or symbology settings. Once we started our work with a base map, and then we have a map showing under our map view, at the content pane section, we could see the name of that particular feature that we have added onto our work being shown over here as world topographic map. That is the current feature that we have added to our working area, and that is how come it is being shown at the content pane section. Now on the far right side, you also find the catalog pane. The catalog pane is like a project explorer. It lets you browse through your folders, your geodatabases, your toolboxes, and you can even connect other data sets you might need later. Like when you go to the site, or you have a data on your computer inside the folder, you can even connect the folder to your working environment over here, and then you can directly work or interact with your data. Now let's go back to the content pane session. On the content pane, whenever you have any data over there under the content pane session, then you select the data, you will notice how the contextual ribbons on the menu bar as what appears. Let me quickly add data over here so that you understand what I'm saying. Okay, so now once I select this feature class that I just added, you could see new tabs being added to the menu bar, like labeling or what data, which is what shown over there. And then those tools, those tabs are going to give me some specific tools which is related to the layer that I've what selected. Then I can work around with it. And finally, keep in mind that you can customize your workspace. You can dock, pin or float pins depending on what works best for you. So if you ever lose a panel, you can just go to the view tab and then you bring it back onto your working area. So that is the basic tour of the ArcGIS Pro interface. Now in the next video, we'll look at how we are going to add shape files and start working with what real data. If this helped you, be sure to like, comment and subscribe for more GIS tips from the Fermi Surveyor.